Okay guys, we're gonna do a unbuild of this particular PC. Um, the reason why I want to unbuild this, or should I say modify this, is just one thing that kind of bothers me. So the reason why it's bothering me is because it's power supply. So this is the Lian Li A3, right? And it's a wood panel version, you can see. It does offer quite a bit of good airflow in this particular case, but as you can tell, I have an ATX power supply in here, and it doesn't leave much of a space for you to put a decent sized graphics card, especially had to deal with all these cables from ATX power supply, which takes up all of quite a bit of space. And as you can tell, the lens I'm dealing with, if I were, put this graphics card against up on this. Now, mind you, if I put an ATX power supply, it's gonna be down here, right? And if I switch to SFX, I might get a little bit more extra space in here. And here, the dimension, like the size here, doesn't really matter. And also, there's a lot of void space in here too. There's quite a bit of couple ways to orientate this particular power supply. You could probably, flip it the other way, or try to find ways to put the power supply flat. My goal is to fit a SFX, and so that as you can see, I have a small Founder Edition 3070 in here. It's it's pretty short, and it's it's plenty of space in here for now. But if I were ever try to put like a Strix card in here, or any other card, I'm gonna run into a whole bunch of cabling issues, and that's why it's still running a smaller 3070 in here, just because of spacing problem. I can show you with another Series 70 that I have. So this 3070, if you can tell, is quite big. Now obviously you're gonna still have space down here, but it's gonna be a hell of a time to try to fit that in there, especially have to tinker around with the older PCIe release button down there, and I just want to have a little bit more space. Plus I need this ATX power supply for another different build. Now this is going to be a on build, and also just a little bit of overview what this case can offer. I do like this case. It's a very nice case, and as you can tell, I don't have much fans in here, but everything works as it should, and it's very quiet as a all mesh case. So without any delay, I'm gonna tear this thing apart. I'm gonna speed up the procedure, and we're gonna show around how to build and unbuild into this case. Now the power supply I'm trying to fit in here, which I already previously connect most of the cable I think I need, is this 750 watt Quartermaster SFX power supply. I've laid it out a little bit to kind of, if you look at this top camera a little bit, I've laid it out. Maybe I'll flip the camera for you guys. So I've laid it out in a way where I think it should be how it should be fitted, right? And as you can see, it takes quite a little space compared to the ATX power supply. And not only that, I have kind of tested out how much of cable length I need. I think it's enough, which I'm going to run it in this way. There's no need to have too much of a cable manager in this particular case. So I think it's gonna fit no problem, and we're gonna go from there. So one thing for this power supply is that if you look at the smaller camera, actually I'll go around to the top camera, it does have few spacers that I can use, and in case you need to fit an AIO up there, you might want to press this down. Now obviously I don't have an AIO for this particular build. This is also one of the other reasons why I want to modify this, is because if I were ever fit an AIO in this case, I will need to press this down, and there's, as you can tell, there's no space to press everything down. There's just, you know, a lot of cables. Even let's say I don't have extra cables in here, it still doesn't offer a lot of space for you to cable manage, and just, I just don't like to deal with it. And plus I need this power supply out, so that's just on build. Okay, I did forget that you can actually orient it this way. If you look at the top camera, which I'm going to flip this case around like that. So you could actually pop in the power supply this way. Obviously this is probably not the only video you watch about this case, but it does offer quite a bit more flexibility if you were actually put the power supply this way. And this is the other way, another reason why I want to change over the power supply is because with the SFX power supply, you are actually just kind of giving it a little bit more space to move things around a little bit. And especially with the shorter cables, it just offers even more flexibility. So I went and get the original packaging, and in the packaging it does give you another power supply mount for your PSU, which I'm actually gonna do it right now. And in there you're gonna have a SSD mount and also a side mount AIO. You probably have to do it like so. Yeah, you have to do it kind of like that. Anyways, I'm not going to be using this, but I don't see and also another GPU bracket that looks like this. Now I'm gonna actually look it up how to use these things. But with that said, it doesn't give you the vertical GPU mount that you might require to fit a GPU this way to give you the full length of the case. So that's an issue in my opinion for this particular case. But so that's why in particular my case, I actually don't want to mount GPU this way, just because I do want to have some more length here. And I'm about to find out which bracket I'm going to be using for this power supply. I'm going to speed up and then I'll show you exactly what I did. All right, first thing first, it's this particular user manual is actually very easy to go through, and honestly, it's one of the best manuals I have used for a very long time. Now, I'm going back to this particular bracket, which you can see over here on the big screen. This is a, I would say, a ATX offset, or should I say, orientation bracket, where basically, if you see, it's more like a spacer basically for your ATX power supply. You may or may not need it, depends on your situation. But for me, I'm not going to be using this. I'm just going to go back to use this particular bracket. Fits my SFX power supply. So I'm gonna be using this guy, and we're gonna continue with the rebuild of this particular build. Okay, after trying to figure it out for a little bit, finally realized how this thing works. Basically, for this bracket, you gotta use these two rails, and when you enter it, you want to make sure it sits like that, and then pop in the two screws designated for this particular locations, which I do have it over here. I'm gonna just, pop it out from its packaging. This is actually one of the best accessory kit to come with a lot of these cases, and I really appreciate. So I'm gonna find the screw and then speed it up, and then we'll go from there. So, not really expected. I didn't want to do this part before the video, but I really don't want these white fans anymore, just because I lost the white power supply and it doesn't really pull contrast anymore. And now I want to just replace with some of these black fans, which is also identical to these ones. They're the Lian Li Unified fans. They're just easier to work with, to be honest. Other than that, I don't mind to have to work with non-unit fans, but these ones are just simpler and easier to deal with. All right, everything is assembled. And I'm gonna do a comparison of spacing. Look at that, so much more space. So if I were, let's say, pull a, one of those bigger carts. This is a 3090 Ti EVGA edition, and you look at the spacing. You're gonna get quite a bit more space to fit this guy in here. Especially, you're gonna not hit anything while you try to fit anything in here. You could definitely use a SFX-L power supply, but you're gonna run into a little bit of issue, especially for a super long card. Now, obviously, if you look at the small cam, we're gonna have one more step to push it up. Now, what this kind of give it to you is that if you're running an AIO, you cannot run a 360 AIO. You need to limit a 280 up here. So you can, there's not many 280 AIOs, but there is ones out there. But this is your limitation to run a 280 up here, and then you can definitely push this guy up. And then you're gonna have plenty more space to run your graphics card down here. That's my recommendation. And because of XFX-L power supply, let me pull one out for you. This is the XFX-L power supply. We're gonna run pretty close to where this one stands, but a little bit deeper down. So you're still gonna run a little bit of length issue unless you go one more up. That's gonna run probably about the same height as this one ending right here. Let me just go for a big camera. I'm gonna push that up for you guys a little bit. See, if I were pushing this up by one more step, you're gonna have a plenty more space to run. And this power supply is the bare minimum to run a 4090 build. And with all the 4090s out there, you're definitely gonna need to have that space. And this is the struggle. And yes, you can buy an SFX, normal SFX 1000 watt or 1300 watt power supply, but stocks are very limited and you might not be able to find one. Just kind of, you have to kind of fight with the what do you have in stock, right? So anyways, this is kind of like a quick guide or build if you got this case and you try to fit a 4090 or a 5090 in here. And my goal is not actually fit a 4090 or 5090 in this particular case, because this is actually one of my entertainment PC, but I don't want to fit maybe an older Strix 3090 or 3080 in here at some point. And I just wanted to open up a little more space in this case, and which the SFX power supply will help me to do. So I don't have a space or an area for me to build a B-roll machine for you guys, but I'm gonna end this video. I'm gonna put all the panels back, and hopefully you guys kind of enjoy this video about fitting power supply in this case. And you guys have a great day. And if you do stick around for other videos, I'm gonna try to build an AI machine in the future. And stay tuned. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And I would definitely love you guys to subscribe to the channel, so I have some more subscribership. And see you next time.